All right, listen up, everyone. I absolutely need to tell you about what went down yesterday on First Take, because it was genuinely one of the most optimistic and player development-focused discussions about the South Bay Lakers' G League victory over the Clippers, exposing a farm system filled with young, athletic defensive talent that could solve the main roster's biggest problems that I've witnessed all season long. And I'm not exaggerating when I say that Stephen A. Smith, Shannon Sharpe, Brian Windhorst, and the entire panel spent nearly 4 hours meticulously dissecting Dalton Knecht's confidence-building 30-point performance on 6 of 10 three-point shooting, showing why the Lakers sent him down to get reps before likely trading him. Chris Minot, looking like prime Alex Caruso on defense, posting 20 points with 6 stocks, total averaging insane defensive numbers, making everyone question why he hasn't gotten NBA minutes over Gabe Vincent, Nick Smith Jr. His 20 points on 4 of 8 from 3 demonstrating two-way ability, playing both on-ball and off-ball, while providing the bench scoring the Lakers desperately need. Kobe Buffkin's continued solid production with 15 points on 3 of 6 from 3 as a versatile combo guard who can defend multiple positions. Armel Traore's 14 points and 7 rebounds on minute restrictions, showing he could be another Jared Vanderbilt, providing size, athleticism, and defensive versatility. And most importantly, the broader organizational philosophy shift under Mark Walters' ownership, creating a Dodgers-style farm system infrastructure with upgraded training staff, medical team, and development culture that J.J. Redick emphasized when hired. And the way they methodologically evaluated everything from why the Lakers historically haven't been a development team, preferring to trade young talent for superstars, but now, under the new CBA, need an influx of cheap young talent filling 8th, 15th roster spots, to how even finding one quality rotation player from the G League is huge success, let alone multiple contributors to why Chris Minot specifically deserves immediate call-up, since his defensive effort, energy, and athleticism translate, regardless of competition level, to the reality that G League and NBA are completely different. But you don't know until giving players actual NBA reps, to the excitement about having multiple young athletic players who win the margins through dirty work, hustle plays, loose balls, and rebounds, which the Lakers have been terrible at, had everyone in the studio absolutely mesmerized. Because this isn't just about one G League game, this is about the Lakers finally building sustainable infrastructure for long-term success, rather than mortgaging the future for aging stars. And if they can develop even 2 or 3 rotation-quality players from this system while using others as trade assets to acquire higher-end talent, they'll have solved the depth and financial flexibility problems that plague championship contenders under the restrictive second apron. Hey, what's up, everyone? Before we dive in, I need 1 second of your time. That like button right there? Hitting it now makes a massive difference in reaching more fans with this content. I know you're ready for the breakdown, but real quick, just smash that like button. It's the single most powerful way to support this channel and help the algorithm push this to thousands more people. Every like matters, so do me that favor right now. So First Take opens, and Stephen A. Smith has this absolutely excited intensity, like he's about to reveal a secret weapon hiding in plain sight. And Stephen A. immediately establishes that last night, the Los Angeles Lakers took on the Los Angeles Clippers in a G League battle, which he loves seeing. You know, big brother smacking little brother, even in the G League. Big bank take little bank. And Stephen A. talks about how anytime they play the Clippers, whether G League, NBA, or pickup at the local Y, he doesn't care. You smack them, and South Bay did exactly that. And Stephen A. makes this point that he wants to talk about the young talent, the athleticism, and all that stuff they're seeing on this South Bay team, which is really good. And one of the big things the Lakers have been trying to do the last few seasons is create that farm system. And Stephen A. keeps emphasizing farm system development, young athletic talent, Dodgers model, making it abundantly clear this represents organizational philosophy shift. Shannon Sharpe, who's always been incredibly passionate about player development, immediately jumps in providing ownership context. And Shannon talks about how you think of the Dodgers and Mark Walter. He doesn't think it's a coincidence that the sale was being worked on dating back to last offseason, and that was when you started seeing the Lakers really carve out things. And Shannon explains they redid their training staff and medical team, upgraded training areas, and JJ Redick even talked about when he was hired that the idea was to build this culture, build this system, create this infrastructure where you could have players develop properly, which the Lakers have never really been known for. And Shannon makes this argument that the Lakers have developed guys here and there, but they've never really been a development team. More often than not, they get guys just enough to trade them for a superstar, then win championships, and repeat the cycle. But especially with the new CBA, you need that influx of young talent, that influx of cheap talent, players who can come in and play roles, whether as the 15th guy or 8th guy. And Shannon keeps saying, infrastructure matters. New CBA requires young talent, development culture shift, emphasizing the organizational evolution. Brian Windhorst then makes what I thought was the most important philosophical point about realistic expectation. And Windhorst talks about how, look, if you can find not even an Austin Reeves type situation where a guy goes undrafted, or is in the G League and becomes a star or all-star type player, even just somebody who could be a quality two-way guy, like what they want Gabe Vincent to be, or Jared Vanderbilt to be on both sides of the ball, even if you just find one quality rotation player, you win. And Windhorst explains that if you find one solid rotation player that's huge, now you start adding 2, 3, 4, and so on, and the best way to do that is bringing an influx of young talent, working out guys to see who rises to the top. Some get promoted to two-way contracts. Two-ways get promoted to main roster. Some guys leapfrog the two-way going straight to the roster. And Windhorst keeps emphasizing one rotation player is success. Multiple depth pieces transform roster. Patient development process, making it clear reasonable expectations matter. But then, Stephen A. Smith shifts to the specific player who dominated, which is Dalton Knecht, and Stephen A. talks about how Knecht isn't a G League guy, but went down and had a great game, and he really loves that the Lakers did this for Knecht because he thinks Knecht needs it. And Stephen A. acknowledges that he knows it's not NBA-level talent, and there have been lots of players throughout history who killed it in the G League, looking like Michael Jordan-level dominant, but get to the NBA and can't even crack the rotation. So context is important, but it was good that Knecht balled out. And Stephen A. reads the statistics showing 30 points, 6 of 10 from three-point range, 10 of 17 overall, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, 3 for 3 from the foul line. It's a way to get and build his confidence. And Stephen A. makes this sobering prediction that he thinks Knecht is building his confidence just to trade him. He's the guy on the way out, so he's probably not the best example for what he's talking about. But if you can get a nice player, not all these guys stick around long-term. Some you develop then trade to get higher-end talent. And Stephen A. keeps saying Knecht building trade value, confidence building assignment, likely being moved, making it clear this was strategic development before dealing him. Shannon Sharpe then introduces Chris Minot, who might be the most exciting prospect nobody talks about. And Shannon asks, can this guy see the actual roster? Just give him a game or couple games, because he would rather see Minot over Gabe Vincent right now. And Shannon makes this passionate argument that Minot looks like Alex Caruso out there, like prime Alex Caruso. Think of the best version of Caruso, and that's Chris Minot. The guy is just a monster on the defensive side. And Shannon reads his statistics showing 20 points, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 4 steals, 1 block totaling 6 stocks in the game, and the guy's averaging like 6 stocks per game total. He looks like a demon out there defensively. And Shannon makes this critical point that even if Minot is half of what he's been in the G League on the main roster, That's everything the Lakers team needs. Imagine Jared Vanderbilt at the guard position, and that's what Chris Minot is. And Shannon keeps emphasizing Minot is prime Caruso, defensive demon, should play over Vincent, making it clear this is an obvious call-up. Brian Windhorst then addresses the important caveat about G League versus NBA translation. And Windhorst talks about how G League and NBA are two completely different worlds, but on the defensive side of things, that's not as difficult to translate. Because yes, guys are bigger, stronger, faster, but a lot of it boils down to effort, energy, athleticism, which Chris Minot has all of them. And Windhorst makes this argument that part of development is getting guys actual NBA reps. You can have these guys sit in G League for 3 years developing, but you don't know until they get actual NBA competition. All these guys could be too good for G League, but come to NBA and aren't very good. And Windhorst explains that even Bronny has had insane G League stats before, but he doesn't think he's NBA ready. His defense as a ball pressure guy could help in spots, but he's still a year or two away from being a rotation guy, which is fine as the youngest player. And Windhorst keeps saying NBA reps are necessary, can't evaluate without trying. Effort translates easier, making it clear you must give opportunity. Stephen A. Smith then makes this passionate plea about why the Lakers specifically need Minot right now, and Stephen A. talks about how the Lakers have a real problem with the margin. Guys doing dirty work, making hustle plays, diving for loose balls, getting rebounds, doing all these things, and you've got a guy like Chris Minot just sitting there on a two-way contract. And the crazy thing is, they haven't even tried to play him. And Stephen A. makes this argument that it'd be one thing if they played him and he was a scrub where you'd say, he's not ready yet. Hopefully you get more than one game to make that decision. But you have to at least try when your margins are this bad. And Stephen A. keeps emphasizing Lakers lose margin battle. Minot solves dirty work needs. Haven't even tried him, making it clear this is organizational malpractice, not giving him a chance. Shannon Sharpe then shifts discussion to Nick Smith Jr., who's the next obvious call-up, and Shannon talks about how Smith had 20 points on 4 of 8 from three-point range with 3 assists and 1 steal. He's been impressive at every level. And Shannon makes this argument that if the Lakers make a trade tomorrow and open up a roster spot, Smith is the guy he wants to see brought up immediately because he solves a lot of the bench scoring and bench woes while showing ability to play both on-ball and off-ball, which is key. And Shannon explains that when Luka, Austin Reeves, and LeBron are on the bench, Smith can just get buckets with the ball in his hands. But if those guys are on the ball playing alongside him, he can be that off-ball threat as a catch-and-shoot guy. Plus, you add in the level of defense he's been playing, which is impressive. And Shannon keeps saying, Smith solves bench scoring, two-way on-ball and off-ball, proven at NBA level with Charlotte, making it clear he's the most ready prospect. Brian Windhorst then provides analysis of Kobe Buffkin's continued solid production. And Windhorst talks about how Buffkin had 15 points on 3 of 6, from 3 with 3 rebounds and 2 assists continuing to be solid. He had that 42-point game, then 26 points, and now 15. And Windhorst explains that Buffkin is another young, athletic, versatile combo guard who can play 2 or 3, defend multiple positions, play multiple positions, just be locked down, and give you athleticism, which is what you're looking for with all these guys. And Windhorst makes this point that you want guys who give you athleticism, speed, ball pressure, transition defense, diving for loose balls, dirty work, hustle plays, winning the margins, which is where the Lakers have not been great. And Windhorst keeps emphasizing Buffkin provides versatility, combo guard with size, wins margins, making it clear he fits the profile perfectly. Stephen A. Smith then addresses Armel Traore, who represents the front-court athleticism they desperately need. And Stephen A. talks about how Traore had 14 points with 7 rebounds and 2 steals, another guy on minute restrictions as they're slowly bringing him back and rehabbing him. And Stephen A. makes this passionate argument that he really wants to see Traore play because J.J. Redick said he's planning on finding him minutes over the course of the season, but you need to get him consistency. He doesn't want on-off rotation. And Stephen A. explains that they saw what Jared Vanderbilt did for this team, and Traore could do a lot of the same thing. He's big, strong, fast, athletic, defends basically every position, excellent rebounder, all of it. And from the beginning, they've said, you could use another Jared Vanderbilt, which would be amazing for this team. And Stephen A. keeps saying, Traore is another Vanderbilt. Front court athleticism needed, needs consistent minutes, making it clear he's a critical piece. What really struck me watching this entire First Take segment was how the panel comprehensively celebrated the South Bay Lakers G League victory over the Clippers, exposing a farm system filled with exactly the young athletic defensive talent the main roster desperately needs. With Dalton Knecht building trade value, posting 30 points on 6 of 10 from 3 before likely being moved, Chris Minot looking like prime Alex Caruso, averaging 6 stocks per game as a defensive demon who should immediately replace Gabe Vincent in the rotation. Nick Smith Jr. providing 20 points with two-way on-ball and off-ball versatility, solving bench scoring needs while being proven at the NBA level with Charlotte. Kobe Buffkin continuing solid production as a versatile combo guard who defends multiple positions and wins margins. Armel Traore showing he could be another Jared Vanderbilt, providing size and athleticism once minute restrictions lift. And I think the clear consensus was that under Mark Walter's ownership, the Lakers have finally built Dodgers-style development infrastructure with upgraded training staff, medical team, and culture that J.J. Redick emphasized. And while historically the Lakers weren't a development team preferring to trade young talent for superstars, the new CBA's restrictive second apron requires an influx of cheap young talent filling 8th-year 15th roster spots. So even finding one quality rotation player from the G League is huge success, let alone multiple contributors. And the critical next step is giving players like Chris, Minot, and Nick Smith Jr. actual NBA reps, because you can't evaluate without trying, and defensive effort translates regardless of competition level. So the Lakers having multiple young athletic players who do dirty work, make hustle plays, dive for loose balls, and win margins, which the main roster has been terrible at, represents organizational transformation from short-term championship chasing to sustainable long-term success, building depth that can both contribute immediately and serve as trade assets for higher-end talent.